Should be live.
Tell me when to talk.
With an excellent connection.
Should I be talking?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're good?
Yeah.
We're fully on? Intro played?
Yes.
All right. We'll see how many viewers are even here because it's a Friday afternoon. But welcome back, you guys, to the third live fishing live stream. A little bit redundant, but what are we doing today? Obviously, the title of this live was something to the effect of breaking down a new lake. So what we actually did is we actually just drove around. We're on a lake that I was on like 5 years ago once, and I have not been on since then, and obviously basically had no knowledge of it. Well, we wanted to come out and film some app content today. The live stream wasn't really an intended thing. So we drove around a little bit. We looked at some stuff. We didn't look at a ton of stuff, 4 or 5 spots basically. Found a few areas that have fish. Filmed an awesome new lake app breakdown. So if you're going to a new body of water, if you're going out to any body of water and just want to get familiar with, you know, how we're looking for fish at this time of year, kind of scouting water, that video will be uploaded tonight on the Walleye Now app. It'll be under early summer. We'll be looking at a bunch of different structure to find a fish. But this is kind of where the rubber meets the road. This is where we have to see if the fish we found are walleyes and if they will bite. That's kind of where we're at. Do we have anybody watching yet, Mitchell?
Yeah, we have 45 people, 53.
This will probably be one of our lower live streams because it's at a poor time on a Friday afternoon, but that's all right. We'll do it for you guys, for you select Friday viewers. But anyways, one thing I always get asked in these is how do I know there's a live stream coming? I'm not the most technologically savvy guy, but I know one thing you could do. You might be subscribed to this channel, but if you go to like the notification bell or whatever, or somewhere there, you could turn on notifications. Then when I go live, you'll actually get a notification. I always put like a notification out to like Facebook and Instagram, but like today we didn't even know we were gonna go live and then we just randomly kind of decided to. We've had bad service, terrible wind, and terrible weather the last multiple days we've been trying to do this. So we're on one of these spots right now. We drove down, we saw some fish on side imaging. Now we're essentially gonna attempt to cast them. We're fishing a lake that's relatively clear. This spot was weeds. We've seen some fish on rock. We'll kind of see where this goes. So this was kind of one of the spots here. Now I had some fish. We're kind of sitting on a little bit of a point complex right here, which you guys might be able to see or might not be able to see. Let's see what kind of built-in mapping. This is a standalone graph. But we're sitting on a point right here, and there was some weeds way up in shallow here that looked like they had some fish on. Terrible natural contouring on this lake, but we'll go back to our live here and just basically try to start catching them. Now, a lot of these fish, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, didn't look like they were giants when we did our scouting. So a lot of times stuff like this, like off the edge right here, I'll just throw a cast at that with a moving bait and see if I can get it to move. We also have a ton of wind today, so hopefully our audio is gonna be okay, huh? Any comments yet, Mitchell? And a lot of times, like where we're seeing fish set up is kind of like on the classic like point or edge, kind of like the sweet spot in the weeds. So we might just fish through a whole bunch of these. No way.
Right away.
First cast. All right, well, it feels walleye-ish. Oh yeah, it is walleye. And he's about kind of the size we kind of figured they'd be. There we go. That was on the search bait. And we got a lot of wind today, so I was just kind of thinking like, well, going down the edge, I might as well throw something that moves a little bit. There's a beautiful 15-incher right there. But this is actually, I was telling Mitchell as I was tying this on, this was one of the first search baits which I ever have thrown. This would have been like year before last year or something like that, when I was kind of playing around with them. I got some custom Sharpie striping on there. I even put kind of my favorite hook on there. And then I packed the eyes full of lead. This is kind of when I was trying to get the weight suitable and everything like that. But there we go. Walleye on the first cast. That went pretty swimmingly well on Mitchell.
Yeah, it did.
For the first cast.
See what the next couple hours brings.
Yeah, exactly. Now, whenever you catch her on the first cast, you're just like, oh no, here comes the massive slowdown.
Yep, it's never good.
Basically all I'm doing, this is the 3/8 ounce search bait that might be a little less than 3/8 because I was playing with the weight way back then. But basically, all I like to rig these up. If you have a problem casting these baits and getting them tangled, which is always the main complaint, you have to kind of lob it out there. But I'll thread that crawler way up on there like that. and I like to pinch that tail section off. How many viewers we got?
We have 105 right now.
105 on a Friday, huh? How was my audio, you guys?
I said it's good.
They said it's good? So you can see like there's no weeds right there. Lots of weeds right there. So what I kind of like to do is like find that edge. Like right in there is kind of where I want to be like wielding my cast. You can see it looks like there's a couple fish just meshed down in those weeds down in there. I don't know like if we're gonna catch like 10 here or if we're gonna catch like 2 here. Basically all you do with that search bait is obviously just reel it back kind of real slow. There's a little bit of movement in there. No bite on that cast, so I'll try to turn away from the wind when I start getting it real bad.
Got one of our first questions about what size search bait for what depth.
Yeah, so the quarter one I like to fish in a lot of like less than 10 feet. 3/8 I like fishing a lot in like 8 or 10 to like 16. And the bigger 5/8 is like the deep water money maker. That 5/8 is good down to like 30 feet, honestly. See, Mitchell, I told you we weren't gonna, after that first cast magic, that was kind of all we got there. We didn't see anything driving around that looked like, holy cow, look, there's 90 fish right there. There's one right there, though. It's gonna be hard to do a lot of bait tracking with the live day, just with how windy it is. Right there. Yep. There he is coming out of the weeds right there. You guys can see him fighting his way up. Feels good. I will say this one might be a little bigger than the last one. There's no better feeling in walleye fishing, or really any kind of fishing, than coming to a body of water you're not super familiar with, driving around, looking for fish, and then trying to catch them. Oh no.
Oh, we got a tangle up here. Holy smokes.
I don't know if you guys got that on camera. I mean, I didn't even have to net this fish. I don't know why. I was just so excited. It's like a 19-incher.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels good. It feels good. Like we kind of drove up this edge, and Mitch kept asking me, "You want to go live?" And I was like, "I don't know. Is it going to be a complete dud? Or are we just not going to catch anything?" There we go. On the old search bait. He was never coming off either. Look how he was hooked. I'll get him popped off. There we go, baby. Another nice walleye. How many of you guys are going fishing this weekend? I'd be curious to know. We are, I will be going fishing. Will I be filming this weekend? Sunday, we might do another live stream. Sunday night seems like the best day to do some live streaming.
Yeah, probably. Got one asking if you ever see your bait with Mega Live. It's got live scope, but
yeah,
seems like Mega Live in person has less detail.
Yeah, I saw my bait come over that weed, and then my boat turned, and then I didn't when the fish bit. But a lot of times, if it was real calm, I could track my bait like something like this, like a search bait, out to, I mean, 80 feet, 90 feet a lot of times.
Another question: Do you use the famous Thompson's 5 of Diamonds?
Oh, like the old-fashioned spoon?
Not sure.
I got just a terrible entanglement going on here. Have I fished an old-fashioned spoon? I mean, not in a long time. Probably for some pikes back in the day. For some pikes.
For some northern pike fish.
You love northern pike, don't you, Mitchell?
Yeah, it's my
Big
favorite
pike guy.
My favorite targeted species.
He knows nothing more than tangling with a whole bunch of
14-inch pike,
18 to 20-inch pike throughout the course of a day.
Yeah, and then I try to clean the smallest ones, just for the challenge.
You try to clean the smallest one,
just to earn my meal.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Are the people going fishing this weekend, Mitchell?
Yeah, some people going fishing. We got one said he's watching while fishing.
That's awesome. We're gonna get our 19th rainstorm of the week here, Mitchell.
Yeah, now the wind's picking up. Rain's probably coming again.
I apologize for this wind. If you guys live anywhere near the Midwest, you know this week's just been terrible weather. Absolutely brutal.
Tom, we got a question. If you're ever gonna come to Oneida Lake in New York.
Say that again?
Oneida Lake in New York. You ever gonna go there?
I know. I've heard tales.
A popular question is, have you ever used Garmin, and will you ever consider Garmin? It seems like on all the live streams, it's a pretty popular one.
I've used it on buddies' boats. This week there's been so much crap in the water everywhere we've been going. I don't know if it's like we were on one lake and the bug hatch was so bad you were like casting at like phantom shadows. It's coming right over his head.
We got one question. If you get the app, can you watch it on the computer or is it only phone?
Say that again?
About the app, if you can watch it on a computer or only phone if he gets it. I believe on MacBooks you can watch it.
Oh, you're the app guy, Mitchell.
I know, that's why I said I believe on MacBooks you can watch it.
I'm gonna throw a phantom cast down this weed edge here.
Is there any time you would want to change the hook on the search bait?
I've played around with just a million different types of hooks and everything. I honestly use mostly straight shank hooks. I don't use a lot of different like slow death ones. I love straight shank hooks. There's fish down that edge too. See, now we're getting to the point where we kind of found that there was fish here, right? But we only saw them in that one sweet spot, and I'm still only seeing them there. But a lot of these fish are just buried down in the weeds. Like you're not gonna pick them up. But the search bait's a great tool to kind of go through and just attempt to essentially cover a bunch of water in and around the weeds. Or it's gonna be hard to do something like that with a slip bobber outside of just like chuck it here, chuck it there, chuck it over here. It's gonna take a lot of time. Where that search bait, you can kind of cast it out, even if it's real windy like this. You could just kind of count it down, halfway down the water column, and then basically just reel it back in over the top of the weeds. And a lot of times, that's basically what that was. That was just a random fan cast that obviously yielded a nice walleye.
I have a couple search bait questions there, Tommy boy.
Yeah, I get more questions on the search bait than any other bait, hands down.
It's a good bait. Can you work the search bait like a jig, snap jig, vertical jig?
You can.
First question.
I am always reeling it though. Sometimes I'll do this thing where I'm reeling it, then I stop it. Like if I know I got fish tracking me, and they're just like following, I'll just kill it and then like re-engage the reel, things like that. You can jig it vertically. I've had good luck like doing it in current, like where that thing's just back there. It's got a bunch of mushed up crawler on here right now where that blade's just back there whistling away in the current. But for the most part, this is how I fish it, just kind of casting and reeling.
The second one is, let me find it here. Have you used plastics with the search bait?
Yeah, should we try one together? See if they bite it?
Yeah, might as well.
A lot of places where like fish are really dumb, there's not even like really a need for it, for using a reel crawler.
How many casts do you like to make at a forward-facing mark if it's not biting before you move on?
If it's not, like if I make 3 good casts and like the fish just isn't like even engaging with the baits, I'll just move on. Like if I get him to like, if it looks like he's hot but he's just not eating it, I might throw something else at him. If he's like real slow and lethargic and just sinks to bottom right away, then I might throw like something really slow at him. But if that doesn't work, then I'll just move on.
Yeah, one viewer, David, he said he mirrors his Android phone to his big screen TV for the Walleye Now app.
Say that again?
He can mirror his the Walleye Now app to his big screen TV.
Oh, yeah.
So that's cool. David, if you don't mind, type what you use for that. So
what line?
What? No, I'm curious what he uses to mirror, to cast the app to the TV. So
oh, it's just like a screencast thing.
Yep.
So one that I have.
Do you think LiveScope will be banned in Wisconsin anytime soon?
Say that again.
Do you think LiveScope will be banned?
No. It's a dangerous road to go down.
We got one says LiveScope is like spotlighting deer. It should be illegal.
Well, everybody has their opinion, Mitchell.
That's right.
So there's a few different ones I like. The first one I found in my grab bag of tricks here. This is a Gulp half crawler. The only downside with the Gulp half crawler is that it doesn't hold up much better than an original night crawler. I can see if I can get one to come up and taste it. Put his lips on it.
A lot of lakes in Wisconsin have been fished out with low walleye populations. Tom, would you support a 4 to 8 year catch and release program to help reestablish healthy populations? Absolutely, we would.
I'd support an 80-year catch and release.
Absolutely. A lot of lakes need it for sure. Because you go on a lake that has something like that implemented, and their lights out after a few years of catch and release.
And a lot of it might not be even due to angler overharvest. It might just be due to the fact that there's not a lot of natural reproduction in a lot of these lakes.
Yeah, or lack of bait fish, and or both.
All right, one cast with the fake crawler, no bite.
Tom, do you find the morning bite to be better than the afternoon bite?
It honestly seems like more weather dependent.
It's what?
More weather dependent, I'd say, a lot of times.
Do you keep track of it in a journal?
Nah, I don't, Mitchell.
Nobody asked that question.
2 casts, no bite, fake crawler. And I can tell you this works really good a lot of places. The fake crawler just might not be an out here thing. This lake is relatively clear, actually.
Next time you put a crawler on there, someone wants to see how you keep it on there.
Okay. Might be soon, because this is cast number 3. Either that or the fish have, it still looks like there's a couple out on this corner though.
What depth are you? We got a couple questions about that. It's hard to see it on
I could probably turn my depth on here. Depth. Not really sure what I'm doing here. We're in basically like 14, 15 feet right now.
Have you ran a bobber yet? Have you ever fished Lake Erie? Yes, we've gone to Lake Erie. It is
yes, we fished Lake Erie. The bobber, I'm sure we will work our way there.
You ever tried Gulp 2.5 minnow or leeches in the search bait?
The leech, I don't like the way it moves on the search bait. Overall, I like things that are real wispy on here. Like the Gulp crawler is kind of real flat. The pork crawler, which I wish I had some with me right now because I put that on. That one looks really good on here. If you're looking for alternative things, almost stick to more like drop shot worms, things of that nature, as opposed to like kind of like real fat stuff, I would say.
If you can't find fish, you don't need it. It's just retards find fish.
Say that again?
I don't need those kind of comments in here.
Read the comment. I gotta hear it.
I can't even understand half of it, but
okay.
Epic, not at all. Fished M6 whole life without it. If you can't find fish, you don't need it. Just lets retards find fish.
High quality comment.
Yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys saw it there. I made a 4 casts with this and did not get bit. Now, is it possible there's just not fish where I'm casting? Maybe. Should we hit them with a slip bobber or do something a little different?
Yeah, let's try it.
My favorite phrase in fishing is let's show them something they haven't seen. Then you rig up like a spinner bait on a slip bobber. So we're gonna run a leech on here. See what transpires here. Got a little bit of a knot around my slip bobber thing here.
Will you ever do a musky bender again to shake things? Yeah, we will. We're gonna do a musky bender.
Don't listen to Mitchell.
No, we are.
You think we are?
I know we will. I don't know when. I can't promise you when, but it will happen. We'll probably fish out of the old, bust out the old Lumacraft 205.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna run the boat. Tom's passenger.
That sounds terrible.
Oh well.
What?
I said, oh well.
Oh. Gotta retie my jig here. It was a little concussed. Well, basically I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm just gonna pitch it out right on that corner. And see if we can pick up a few other fish. We filmed a video the day before yesterday on a different lake, which targeting a bunch of big walleyes on some small Wisconsin water that hopefully you guys enjoy. That was fishing deeper on the 5/8 search bait. Kind of missed him, Mitchell. Might have to creep in there a little farther with the bobber. But basically what I want to do is find that corner somewhere right in there. Put that little bobber right on it. See if we can get any little morsels to start coming off the bottom here.
$255 viewers.
What's that?
255 viewers.
It's actually not bad. How many of you guys are at work right now? Let me know that one. There's one coming up looking. He's looking. Oh, he ate it, Mitchell.
On the slippy?
I got so much slack out. Got him. He ain't very big, but he's a walleye. A lot of times I'll fish like this, where I might throw a moving bait at like the first few fish I see, and then they might just kind of get skittish, or they might just turn into 14 inchers like this. Then you got to hit them with that bait that gets those 14 inchers to bite. Pretty little guys though. It's a pretty little Clearwater lake.
Well, I guess might as well go to my program. Hand me the rod.
Once Mitchell sees someone catch a fish out of slip bobber, he's just like,
oh, it's kind of the most efficient way I could fish off the back here and use a computer at the same time.
Yeah, don't direct your hate for forward-facing sonar at Mitch, because his favorite way to fish is just out the back of the boat, staring around.
Like, you know, forward-facing is cheating, so I like to do it the old school way.
He just is an old school kind of guy.
I have a paper map, and that's how I fish.
Yeah. How many of you guys watched the last video and truly believe Mitch is 53 years old?
Yeah, seriously. Whoever got fooled for that one, shame on you. Come on now.
He does, the way he's griping and groaning in the morning, you'd think he was 53 years old.
I got a text from Pete saying he's watching at work.
Pete is?
Hopefully his boss isn't too, because now he knows.
Was there a lot of people watching at work?
I gotta look. Some are watching at work.
Mitchell, come over here.
What do you need?
Come over here.
What do you need from me?
Need a celebrity fish catch out of you.
Well, no, I'm not gonna.
No, Mitchell, it's down. Come on, you have to right now.
That's ridiculous.
Come
Set the
on.
hook. I'll catch my own.
Oh, I did see you messed it up. It came back
you
up.
messed it up. I don't even know what you're doing.
I wanted a celebrity fish catch. The only thing with the bobber is you just get kind of bored of sitting.
I'd probably check that leech. It's probably gone.
You think it's gone though? Oh no, one's coming back. He's all over it. They're thinking about it. They're definitely thinking about it.
We got a more Alumacraft, less Warrior.
That ain't gonna happen. I like comfort at my old age.
Yeah, this thing is pretty smooth. And
Alumacraft, even in this 20-mile-an-hour wind, you'd be just bling, bling, bling.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, it's still awesome, but
they are just sitting right on this corner. You can see like no weeds. There's a couple of random panfish up high, and then weed. That's right where we want to be.
Tom, what are your thoughts on the 2B telescoping bobber rod?
I really like that one. My favorite. That one's nice for like long casts with like when you get up to the real heavy stuff, especially in deep water, because you want a lot of that long swing to it. Doing a lot of this kind of stuff, I love that. This is like the 7.5 precision shooter. It is non-telescopic, but I like this one a lot for like a lot of this kind of shallower fishing. I filmed a video, which I think will go up Sunday, where I was catching a bunch of really nice walleyes on slip bobbers in shallow water, and I absolutely love the load these rods have. They really load well to like, that's the thing with a slip bobber rod. You want something that has a lot of like load through the midsection. That'll kind of allow you to, with a slip bobber jig, the jig's small, you're generally not using really heavy line. It's generally a lot more like kind of finessey stuff. So with all that lighter stuff on there, it's nice to have something that's a little bit softer to keep those fish pinned.
Tom, Austin Black wants to know, do you believe in cursed boats? Or is he just that bad of a fisherman?
I mean, your boat might be cursed.
Catching big fish.
What's that?
For catching big fish.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe in cursed boats. Although I will go through spells for a week where I'm just like, man, what is going on? Like, I feel like I'm doing everything right, and it's just not happening for me. All right, so here's what's going on. We just fished that corner. I'm not really like seeing a whole lot of other movement. I got more waypoints going that way that we dropped on fish, but we're gonna go this way for a second. That might be foolish to do. There might be some stuff going on right there. That was a good little run though for the first spot on the lake, huh?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. What'd you tell me before we went live? You promised like 55 walleyes or something like that?
53.
How many?
53, same age as you.
53. Well, you're still quite a ways away, so.
Looks like we got a little different kind of vegetation out here off this edge. Some of these fish are just holding so tight to some of this stuff. I don't feel bad like throwing a cast into it real quick and just seeing if anything happens. Even though that's definitely weeds. There's a fish there.
Got a question. Do you do your editing for YouTube or have someone else do it? I do it.
You guys will know the ones that I do and the ones that Mitch's do, because Mitch's ones are really good.
I mean, they're both pretty good.
You don't have to pay, don't just try to make me feel good.
I know what happens when your feelings get hurt. You go home and cry.
What's that?
I said when your feelings get hurt, you go home and cry.
Yeah. Oh, maybe right in there. That looks like there's some potential there. I'll spot lock for a second. He's coming up. He's coming up. Oh, they're there, Mitchell. Here he comes, here he comes. Yep. Got him right there. All right, there is more going down this edge. It is a walleye.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Yeah, it's not a bad one at all. Fish in this lake don't fight very hard.
No, that one like popped to the surface right away like a
Yeah,
bass.
I might lose him right here. Hey, they're getting it though, and there's more there. Celebrity fish catch, celebrity fish catch. Come on, Mitchell.
Give me the rod. I'm not gonna have you cast it for me.
No, Mitchell.
What are you talking about?
You need me to cast it,
No,
and you can reel it in.
I can see the live from back here. I can cast on a fish.
I'm already bored of the slip bobber. I want to go back to
Well,
the
here,
search
hand
bait.
it here. I'll kind of make some casts off the boat. If I set the hook, I'll let everybody know. He's still gonna cast it. You just had to, didn't you?
Well, I just wanted to make sure we weren't wasting time.
He had to. The guy can't get outdone by the cameraman on live stream.
If you catch one though, it goes down. You got to get up here.
I will.
Reel that sucker in.
I'll hobble up there.
Guy's been complaining about his blown out knee now for like weeks.
I hurt myself. How do you tell the difference between a rock and a fish on side imaging? That is probably one of the most commonly asked questions, I think.
You know why it's the most commonly asked question? Because there's no great answer for it.
So is Mitch being paid well since he does not fish anymore?
Oh, get up here, Mitchell. This is how I pay him. Once a day, I let him do this.
I get this opportunity once a day. Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I tried to crack him in the head on that hook set, but I missed a little bit. You know, it's the biggest one of the day, like usual.
It's honest work. It's honest work.
Yep.
This is actually going way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, this is for a new
I know
lake.
these fish aren't big, but...
Did you tell them that we filmed a new lake breakdown on the app?
Yeah, so we'll bring it up again, though. One of the other most common
God,
questions we get asked is for new lake breakdowns. So today we came out here, and on the Walleye Now app, we filmed a full-on breakdown of like where we're seeing fish. And this is kind of like a super typical type of lake you're gonna see throughout the Midwest. So for anybody wondering that, tonight the video will be on there. It'll be under early summer locations, Mitchell. Natural lake.
Yeah, possibly, or like situational tips, one of the two.
It'll be on there.
We were gonna have it up before this live stream, but service is not good enough.
We're having lots of service issues. You know, just all sorts of issues we were having.
Tommy said there's 1 million adult walleye in Oneida Lake, and it's 51,000 acres.
Oneida Lake's that big?
Like, apparently. Actually sounds
For some reason
cool.
I didn't think it was that big.
That's a lot of walleyes. Hand me a leech, would
It's
you?
51,000 acres or
Yeah.
5,100?
I'll check again. I'm pretty sure it said 51,000.
Okay. For some reason I didn't think it was that big. I'm gonna get on the slip bobber program. I got too close to these fish, and it's hard to
Wow, we got
search bait them when
we
they're
got
this
someone
close.
in the chat.
What's that?
We got Mark Eisen in the chat. And he said,
no.
He said that's something I've
Chat's
never
over.
seen. Mitch catching a fish almost as rare as him.
It's gonna
ever.
get inappropriate real quick.
I know. Mark, come on, man.
A lot of times if you got wind like this, I don't know if you guys could tell, it's just super blustery today. It almost helps more to get the fish a little bit behind you. Oh, here it comes on. Here he comes. It's popping up over the weeds.
So I got a question. What are your thoughts on states banning forward facing? Have there been any states that banned it yet?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Wisconsin, they put it up to a popular vote, and it didn't get past that stage, basically, to my knowledge.
What are you seeing for water temps?
It is 62 right now.
62.
I got way too close to these fish, Mitchell.
How
They're
far are they?
basically right
I
at the
can't
back
tell.
of the boat.
Oh, you got a bobber too. What's going on here? Here, let me drop it right on him. Oh my gosh, that was the worst hook set I've ever seen.
That was a pretty bad hook set.
It was terrible.
They look really like small walleyes.
It's probably a rock bass.
That'd be
Honestly though, Rock bass are a lot of fun to catch.
Here we go with Mitchell trying to just say ridiculous stuff.
They fight hard.
I'm gonna keep moving down the edge. I don't even want to sit on these fish anymore.
I'll just sit back here with the float and leech and let it work. I think we had a question if we're using bare hooks or a jig on the slip bobber. I think we had a question on whether we're using bare hooks or a jig on the slip bobber side.
We were using the Kalen's like finesse slip bobber jigs that are made for these. If it's really calm out, I don't mind using a bare hook, but man, does it get tricky to cast in any amount of wind. A lot of times I'm just pitching back to just what looks like a little sweet spot in the weeds and hoping for the best.
Is it true Tom told Dean Elmer if he ever drives by you guys again on the flowage like he did last year, you're gonna hop out of the boat and kick his ass?
Who said that, Mark?
Robert Recobb.
Oh.
It's true. It happened.
That was like a straight up dangerous situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Rock bass taste like crappies, Tom. There you go.
Do they?
We also got a confirmation. Oneida is 51,000 acres.
Damn. I didn't know it was that big.
Do you use 360 anymore, or has that been phased out?
Say that?
Do you use 360 anymore?
No, but every time I'm on a bite like this, I still wish I had it on my boat.
It's definitely still pretty useful.
Yeah, we gotta keep moving.
It's just hard when you're fishing off a boat like this and you got $200,000 worth of live units on the bow. You can't fit a 360 pole anywhere.
Still got a blind spot right here.
Yeah. Guy's a phony, folks. Guy's a phony.
There's something big that's not probably a walleye. It's more like a bass mark in my opinion.
Yeah, this wind is really picking up, isn't it?
I gotta go back to the search bait. I'm sick of casting bobbers. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is like super windy out today.
Target walleye said rock bass equals party crappies.
Who said that?
Target walleye.
Oh. What up, Brett?
Dude, everybody likes rock bass.
A bunch of little ones around for sure.
I mean, honestly, you couldn't even tell me right now how you would target a rock bass.
A rock bass?
Yeah.
No.
I bet you couldn't bring one a new lake for a rock bass.
This wind is unreal, you guys.
Yeah.
We contemplated not even going live because of it.
You know, when it's like this, I'm sure nobody can hear anything. Mark said he just got back from Canada and caught a bunch of walleyes.
Are we getting comments how bad the wind is yet or no?
Not yet. Not yet. So can you add a feature to Walleye Now that lets me know what video I already watched? It's actually kind of a good idea. Some things are pretty tough to add, but what we did is add a bookmark feature. So I don't know if a lot of people realize that. You'll see like a little ribbon kind of by the video, so you can bookmark them. Obviously, you don't want to bookmark everything you watch, but it's kind of one way, but it's a good question. Something I gotta look into.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do, Mitchell. We're gonna troll the motor back down to our other waypoints we dropped.
Alright.
Not that you care at all.
What do you mean? I gotta catch some fish back here.
What's that?
So what do you mean? I have to catch some fish back here?
You can
Dude, this wind is I don't know if they can tell on the live stream, but it's
Really?
bad.
Yeah, she's incredibly breezy. We were gonna do this last night on a different lake, and the wind was even worse than this. It's been a challenging week as far as getting content goes, just mainly due to the weather. We've set the cameras up and tore them down 10 minutes later 35 different times this week because of mainly rain and thunderstorms and stuff like that. Here, I'm going to show you guys kind of the spot we're fishing. Let's see how well you guys can see it.
So here's a good question. Don't you think clear water, reservoir, and stained water should be separate on the app?
Clear water and dirty water?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but in my thought process, a stained lake fishes very differently than a non-stained lake, you know? All right, so here's the spot we're fishing. Now, I never use this graph for anything but forward-facing sonar, so I haven't set my highlight yet, but one thing I would do right away is like come in here. My shallow water highlight, I normally like to leave that about 10. My mid-depth highlight, this kind of bite, I'll kick this to like, I don't know, maybe like 13, and then I'll kick my highlight range to like 3. Now you're gonna see like that edge should pop real hard. Kind of where we're looking for fish right there, but basically like on our first little side imaging pass through here, we were seeing a bunch of fish kind of around in here as I was twiddling around with the trolling motor, and that's kind of basically what we saw. This is a standalone graph, so I don't have all my waypoints to trans over to here because I kind of like it just for it to be unlinked to everything. But that's kind of the spot we're fishing, just a big slow tapering weed flat, and I believe it's milfoil on the top of this. There's always a big debate on, is milfoil like bad for a lake or things like that. All sorts of different kinds of fish love relating to it. Walleyes, crappies, muskellunges, barracudas. And actually, I saw more fish down here when we drove through than I did back there. So we will see. Any other good questions chiming in yet?
Some comments. I don't know about questions. It's hard.
Comments on what?
I'm probably not keeping up with everything right now. We got one. I fish a reservoir in northwest Montana. Fish is very odd. Rarely do you ever find fish shallow, mostly in like 18 to 30 feet of water with school of small ones in 50 feet plus.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those like deep western reservoirs I fished, fish will go really deep really fast. In my experience, we're actually going out to a Montana reservoir in a week and a half. You excited?
Oh yeah, I'm jacked. I'll probably ditch the boat, ditch filming, and go do some scouting.
It's got some big fish in it, I'd say.
For a tag that I'll never draw. There's another one here. What's the strangest thing you've ever seen on the water? Doesn't have to be fishing related.
Oh boy.
It's a good
That one might take me a little bit to think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
You're jogging back through a lot of stuff I've seen on the water. Some of the weirdest stuff's happened in the boat, probably.
Yeah. I don't know if it's weird, but crazy thing that happened. I was on a guide trip, like my first season guiding, I think.
That sailboat thing?
Yeah, a guy with a sailboat he flipped it over like probably 40 yards, 50 yards from me, and then was like calling me to help him. And it's like, I think we were slip bobber fishing at the time, so I had like 6 of them out or something like that. We reeled them up and boated over by the guy and end up tying onto this thing and like flipping it back topside. It was a pretty wild dude.
I pulled a guy in my boat who fell out of a canoe one time.
Oh yeah, well you've had some
And
crazy
he,
stuff about helping guys.
And the guy that I drug him into my boat and like flipped him up into the bottom, and he was spitting out water. And he like basically said I saved his life. Funny part is it was like not far from shore at all, super close to shore.
Definitely seen some crazy stuff at the ramp. People trying to get a boat in.
Yeah.
Last year
I saw a guy throw on a full-on wetsuit to launch his boat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I watched a guy pull out last year and the boat popped off the hitch and his wife.
Oh, right under the ramp?
Yeah, right at the ramp.
I watched a guy drop a brand new Yarcraft at the Hager City ramp on pool 3 or pool 4 one time. It was early spring, so I'm sure the bunks were just ice from the night before.
Oh, dude. That's not good.
And they got a crane in there and lifted it with straps under it. I mean, I don't even know how else you'd get it back on. All right, so now we're kind of at the start of one of these areas we're looking at.
We got one comment that the guy's hero.
What's that?
We have one message that said, Tom is my hero.
Well, I greatly appreciate you watching, because without you, I would not have a job.
Did you hear that, Pete? Without you, Tom wouldn't have a job.
What'd you say?
I asked Pete if he heard that. Without him, he wouldn't have a job.
Oh, Pete said that?
Yeah.
Did he? All right, here's our weed edge.
Tom, are you retiring from trolling?
From trolling? I think we filmed a few trolling things this year.
Yeah, we'll do more.
Oh. Might be just looking at weeds here, but it looked sexy for a second. Say that again? Yeah, sure. I mean, I may catch a fish here. Oh, I touched it.
All right, guys, we're gonna have an ad drop in here in like 15 seconds, probably right when Tom catches the fish. So I'll make him stand in front of the camera and hold it.
Did you hit him with an ad?
In less than 10 seconds.
Is there an ad going or no? I'm sure it's over, probably.
How fast are you reeling your search bait?
It all depends. This might be a real small walleye here. It all depends. A lot of times, oh, look at this guy trying to snipe my fish. If I got fish like that are way down deep, then I'll go real slow. But if I got fish like, once I get my bait to the depth the fish are at, sometimes they will just like it really fast too. Or one thing I'll do a lot is like kind of go slow to gauge their action. If they start really coming, then I'll speed up. Not like it as much what I'm seeing out of these ones, Mitchell.
Had a couple, are you gonna get some Minnetonka and fish?
Am I gonna get some what?
Lake Minnetonka and fish.
That is on our hit list this year. Even when you fish every day, there's still tons of places that you just never make it to every year. Can't cast forward, so I can see there's likely a couple nestled in there right there. I'm gonna try to sneak up alongside of them. Man, the second we went live, it got way windier. May have to go to the old drop shot just so I can properly get my bait out there.
It's just hard not to fish a drop shot this time of year. It's pretty productive. I had one comment, no jerkbait today.
They're just way down there. There's like a bigger pike or something right under me. Like right under the boat or something. See if I can get him to do something. And there's no way he bites this, but. Dude, that wind is outrageous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I fear we might capsize.
What's that?
I said I fear we might capsize.
Oh, it calmed down for a little bit right before we did this, and now the wind's just scorching, which I don't really care for the fishing as much, but the audio, a little concerned. Back to the search bait.
So new to Humminbird and Live, would love a quick video sometime on how you have your graph settings as well as how you dial in your.
Yeah, so we actually have a full video of that on Walleye Now. It's literally on situational tips on every single season.
Said Lake Gogibic is only an hour, 1 to 2 hours north, 14,000 acres. I didn't know it was that big actually. Actually, everybody says the audio is pretty good.
Say that?
Everybody said the audio is pretty good. I'm surprised.
Shocked, actually. Got some little ones here, Mitchell. They don't look like the right kind of deal for us. Might just throw a couple phantom casts down the edge here.
I do agree, downloading videos on the app would be nice for bad service areas. Definitely something to do. Hey, here we go. Tim wants to know if you're going to film me hunting.
Say that again?
He wants to know if you're going to film me hunting.
Oh.
I honestly could really use a cameraman. Except here's the catch. We'll do it on your channel and I won't pay you. So it's a pretty good deal.
Why is that a good deal?
It's a pretty good deal for you. Maybe we can tap into a new audience.
I think the hunting world's actually way bigger than the fishing. Certainly way bigger than the walleye fishing world.
Some 1.5-year-old booners in the North Woods. Starlink is the ticket. Yeah, we were just talking about that again today. I do have one. We might have to come up. You
only drop a call every single time I've ever called you, so Starlink's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, I am literally in the black hole of no service and weird area of way bigger storms than everywhere else. It's just something. But I think we could rig it up on the back here somewhere on a ram mount and make it work. Who has a bigger PB?
Good.
Guessing you do, Tom, because I've literally never measured.
Say that again.
Like, somebody's asking who has a bigger PB walleye, and you claim you caught a 32 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
There you go, Mitchell. That ain't a bad cast.
That's a good cast, isn't it? Oh, he said his dad used Starlink on a sailboat when racing on the Great Lakes. That's actually pretty cool.
Really?
It's good to know. That means we can go out on Superior and possibly use it.
They're right there, Mitchell. We're just not getting bit. Mitchell, you're down.
Am I down?
Catch him.
Paying attention back here. Oh, I dropped something. Hold
Doesn't
on.
matter. Set the hook. We need the fish.
I can't. Too many electronics.
The fish is more.
Oh, I missed it.
No, you got. What the heck, Mitchell?
I dropped the ball. I would have just broke a.
Really been trying to get bit out of here, and you just messed it all up.
I know. I screwed that up. I would have broke stuff though, so I don't think it was worth a 14-inch walleye.
It's funny that these ones are not moving as good as the last one. For whatever reason.
I'll tell you what, I don't miss a fish very often.
No,
but when I do though, I can make it look pretty ugly.
It was pretty ugly.
You know what I mean?
We'll agree with that.
Yeah. Bloodsuck.
You're all over it. Go down.
Bloodsuckers are the best leech to put on, right?
Yeah, I think so. I may have to hit him with a drop shot.
Tom, have you noticed zebra mussels hurting walleye fisheries?
Oh, down right here. What is going on?
Oh my gosh. You know what it is? They're rock bass.
Say that question again.
Do you notice zebra mussels hurting walleye fisheries?
No, it definitely changes the lake though, obviously. It makes it a lot clearer. But then again, I may not have fished enough. When I started walleye fishing and doing a lot of traveling, everywhere that has zebra mussels already kind of had zebra mussels. And then you talk to a lot of people who say oh, the lake's fished way worse since there was zebra mussels or stuff like that. But oh my gosh, dude, the wind's just killing me. The wind's killing me. I need to go to a drop shot.
I knew it.
We just missed our 2 bites here, Mitchell.
That's not good.
We're really not having a good showing since we moved spots here. I don't know how we're
going to eat tonight if we keep missing these fish.
Seriously. Look at this guy. I reel in for a second, he just goes right for the juice.
Right. Going for it.
Drop shot's nice because a lot of times you can just pitch it into wind a lot harder, and obviously it just goes to the bottom immediately.
Hey Tom, have you ever found that some reservoirs and lakes just aren't very good at night, or like good night fisheries?
Yeah, some lakes just aren't good at night. I don't know why that really is. There's one coming up to you, Mitchell.
Come on, bite it. I'll tell you what, if our audio is good, these windscreens are pretty impressive. Oh my.
They gotta be small ones.
They're rock bass. You actually successfully did what I said you couldn't do.
Found the rock bass pattern?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep moving us because I don't like something about what's going on.
What's that?
I'm just gonna keep shuffling us around the weed bed here. Obviously something that's going on here ain't good. It's coming over to it.
Have you ever rigged a live minnow on the drop shot?
I have not had much success with that, but I'm sure it does work.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Don't be a Rocco. It is a walleye. See, I knew they were walleyes, Mitchell. For whatever reason, we just weren't getting them there. And there's been a lot of this going on this week, where like you find fish, you sit on them, you sit on them, you sit on them, and then all of a sudden you get a few. And obviously the weather this week's just been absolutely insane. Tons of like this kind of stuff. All of a sudden just big front systems coming through. 3 thunderstorms a day, which is obviously not great for fishing. I gotta get this guy popped off here. Can't hardly feel what I'm doing out there.
Will there be a live stream muskie video in the future? I like that idea.
You want to talk about the most boring live stream you guys have ever seen?
That would be super boring because
so you guys like watching people cast and backlash all day. When was the last time you chucked out a bait caster?
Me?
Yeah.
I did last year.
You did last year?
No, honestly, I went. When was it? It was like. It might have been right before I started hunting, I believe. And I was like, you know what?
You thought you'd like it? Let me guess. You thought you'd enjoy it?
Yeah, it was like a good looking day. I was like, I'm gonna go catch a muskie quick by myself. I honestly think I took 4 casts and I was like, yeah, I can't do this right now.
You're like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah. Which is weird because usually I enjoy it. Switch gears, caught some bluegill instead.
Toss some plugs for some gills.
Some big old gills.
Oh my gosh, dude. There's got to be a bunch of little ones in there. It doesn't help. I just literally can't feel anything when I'm doing either.
Yeah. No fish.
So far, where we have found fish is where we have caught fish.
Yeah, we had a comment that said no fish on wind-blown rock ?
Well, we did look at some rock and we did find some fish there. The other thing is, once we start doing these live streams to like run spot to spot, it gets a little dicey. We got about 97 connections of cables from here to the back of the boat. It gets a little concerning. Stuff could come unplugged if we start running. But I'm sure there's fish on rock too. The other thing that whenever I come to a lake, there might be fish on rock, fish on weeds, fish on everything. And the fish that are sitting on sand on the outside of a weed edge, they're generally the easiest ones to find because they pop real hard on side imaging right away. So a lot of times, even if there is fish on rock, I find the weed ones and fish them first. No Cameron on today?
No, isn't he? He's probably driving up now, isn't he?
He's working.
No, not yet, right?
Lots of other folks are working today too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, to not catch this live stream if you're at work is a really lame excuse. You can't even hear what I'm saying, and I can't hear what you're saying, can you?
It's so hard to hear anything
The wind?
you're saying. I just see your lips moving. figure it's just a
I'm
bunch
gonna keep
of dumb
moving.
stuff. Are you running lithium trolling motor batteries?
Trolling motor batteries?
Yeah.
Yes. These Minn Kota Trova Quests are insane. I mean, they just like right straight into the wind.
Hey, Tom. What kind of bottom do walleyes like to bed in at night?
Say that one again.
Oh, okay.
Read it.
What kind of bottom do walleyes bed in at night?
Kind of wherever they are during the day, pretty much. Occasionally just a little shallower, possibly.
All right, we got one. Any tips for fishing the Chippewa float this coming week?
Say that again.
Any tips for fishing the big chip this week?
Weeds, stumps, 6 to 13 feet. Fish through them fast, because when you're around them, you'll know. Fish a slip bobber and a leech. How long have we been live for?
An hour and 7 minutes.
I got to be home at 6 o'clock tonight for sure, and we have a 2-hour drive. But we'll
What's
make
that?
it. The folks at home are more important than my agenda.
Some guys are wondering how fast the wind speed is right now.
Is it 25?
At least.
I mean, when it's gusting, it's like 30 for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. I got a question, Tom. Can you hear me back here? Could you talk about how you feel the fish and set the hook on a drop shot and leech versus bobber where you let it take the bait longer? Do you set right away?
Yeah, drop shot. A lot of times once I feel them, I'll just kind of begin to load the rod. I got a small one pecking right now. Yeah, some of these are definitely panfish, Mitchell, out here on the old weed edge. There's definitely some panties around.
Is there?
Stealing my leech. A lot of times if you just feel that, ding, 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 that's obviously panfish. Walleyes will be a lot more just kind of like loading the tip. I also might just go back to the search bait 'cause it's a lot more fun.
It feels pretty impossible to cast a slip bobber.
And if you're not having fun, what are you even doing? You know?
Somebody said if it's that choppy, go home.
Say that again.
Somebody said if it's that choppy, go home.
We never go home.
Tom doesn't like home.
I like home, dude. Don't make me sound like some kind of evil monster.
I think we had a couple questions too if we've ever done some professional walleye tournaments.
If we ever what?
Tournaments.
Oh no, I say this to everyone because we always get asked that I'm gonna have a midlife crisis someday and just start fishing all the tournaments, but as of right now I don't have much of a desire to.
Maybe we should do our own tournament. What do you think of that idea?
Say that again?
Maybe we should do our own. Why don't we start our own fishing tournament?
I don't know. If we did like a walleye tournament thing, like for like giveaway prizes, that was like
Yes.
Midwest wide or whatever,
Yes.
worldwide.
I have some ideas for
Random each week through Walleye Now. Would you guys be down for something cool like cool like that?
Are you talking up there?
Am I coughing?
No, talking.
I was talking.
What'd you say?
If you're talking to me, I can't hear anything. The wind is too
10-4.
You guys are watching a couple old dudes at the boat right now. What's that? What'd you say?
What?
Couldn't hear you. You say something?
What size is that search bait?
3/8.
How far are the fish, Tom?
A lot of small fish in here. Give me my search bait. Oh, Mitchell, who did this? Who tangled this stuff up like this?
I don't know. It definitely wasn't me though.
I know it wasn't me.
That's what happens when you 15 rods just piled together like that.
You know me, I like switching rods.
Are you done with the drop shot? Because I might actually take it from you.
You can try it. Yeah, this is a 3/8 ounce search bait. That's what we got cooking. They were all over it on the first spot. I mean, obviously, first cast, I literally caught one.
Yeah.
We're about 300 yards away from that first location right now. Just still same big weed bed, just a different portion of it.
I wonder if we're going to film more open water basin bites in front of the boat this year.
Say that again?
Open water basin bites being filmed in the front of the boat this year. There'll be a ton of them.
Will open water basin bites be filmed?
Yes.
Oh, lots. It's like my all-time favorite way to fish. Oh, Mitchell.
What happened?
Mitchell, he was tapping.
Where are they? I gotta take a peek up here really fast.
They're too far away for you to catch.
No, they're not too far away. Right on them.
Why are you just chucking it random? There's not even
What's
fish
that?
where you just casted.
What'd you say?
Said there's no fish where you just.
Oh, really?
What's that?
I said, really?
There's not.
You're gonna feel dumb when I catch
I
one.
think you might have misjudged the angle on them.
I will say though, a 3/16 weight on drop shot is not good enough in 30 mile per hour wind.
I like it light though, so it doesn't spook the fish as bad. Give me the slip. Give me the slip, boy. Got some real close to us here. See if we can make it happen. Come on, come up and do it. You're all over it. Oh no, dude, I just spilled crawlers on the front deck of the boat too. Not good. I just cleaned my boat yesterday too. Nothing like spilled crawlers. Gotta get out there a little farther. That'll drift right into their little zone there, I think. Kind of slowed down a little bit after our first little beat down, huh?
What were you saying up there? You spilled your crawlers?
Yeah, look.
I was back there fiddling around with my little crawler, trying not to fall off the boat.
Eat it. And you guys are all over it. Filming these lives, we definitely stay in one spot longer than I normally would. But it is kind of a lot to have to like move the whole setup. Couldn't get him to eat that. These fish are definitely a little bit temperamental, I would say. Farther down into here. Clearly there's still a few there that they just did not really bite for me.
Hey, any plans to fish smaller lakes around the Leech Lake area?
Directly around Leech? I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, one about the glass eyes that keep breaking on the jigs.
Question?
No, the glass eyes constantly break on the jigs. They do.
Yeah, some definitely breaking. You're smashing rocks all day. Alright, I gotta keep trekking us into here. We're not getting the desired outcome here, Mitchell.
I think the wind might be dying down.
You said the wind may be dying down?
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
How come no jerkbait today?
I just haven't really seen any fish like popped way up high. A lot of these fish seem to kind of be smaller fish, tucked in a lot closer to stuff. We can try it though. I'll try anything once. So a lot of times I'm not even casting at like stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, look at that, there's 5 walleyes right there. A lot of times I'm casting to areas that kind of look like they might have a fish and they're tucked in so tight to this stuff. And then I'll just see what happens. Like see if I start seeing them moving around. Yeah, this specific spot not looking super good. like that cast though. Oh yeah, there's some there. Eat it. Eat it. Might have to steal my drop shot back, Mitchell.
Can't have it.
I can't have it?
Nope.
What if I need it though?
You always make fun of me for liking it. Now you want it?
Hey, I didn't say I like it.
Okay.
Let me see that sucker. You got a leech on it?
Yeah,
Always got it all ready to go for me.
Have you ever tried Garmin Live Scope? That's definitely becoming a very popular question.
On Buddy's boat's the only time I've tried it. Straight back behind us. It's right on top of his dome. I feel like we got to catch fish on 2 spots at least in this video though, so people know we ain't playing around, you know. There we go. Drop shot, baby. It is a walleye, Mitchell.
Is it?
I mean, overall, I know we're not getting big ones. Maybe this lake just, or maybe it's just this spot too.
It
doesn't have a bunch of big ones. But I mean, we are getting it done, in fact. And you could tell they're biting kind of slow and since that first little wave. Because I mean, I'm really having to put it just on them and then get real finessey with it. But pretty little walleyes. I ain't ashamed of these 15, 16ers, Mitchell, on a new lake. Mitchell doesn't want to show his face with one of these guys yet. Didn't you catch one though?
I did, yeah.
You did catch one?
It was a lot bigger than that though.
It was a lot bigger than this?
A lot. It was like twice the size. It was like
wow.
15 times 2.
I must have missed it. I didn't even see you catch that one.
Got a question for you there,
Yeah.
Tom. I'm going fishing tonight. Deep, clear reservoir. Only have side imaging. Lots of fishing shallow and points connected to basin. How should I target them?
Deep, clear reservoir.
Yep.
Lots of shallow points connecting to basin.
Yep.
I would get in, now most time on a reservoir, depending how big it is, if you're fishing like a monster body of water, you might want to start somewhat towards the end where the river comes in and then work your way out from there. Like a lot of times, a lot of the really big reservoirs I've fished before, there'll be a migration of fish where like early in the spring, obviously they go to where there's more current or stuff like that. Sometimes fish will be way in the back of some of those like feeder creek bays. And then by this time of the year, this early summer, a lot of times you have fish migrating out onto some of those points in intermediate depth. Generally, we're not seeing fish like 30, 45 feet down, but generally you'll see a lot of fish sucking out of some of those bays with feeder creeks, and they'll get on those points in that 10 to 20 foot zone. So a lot of times I just say get on the biggest piece of structure in the lake that has a lot of structure in 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet, and see what depth the fish are at. And then I would be throwing, I mean, kind of depending on the situation. A lot of those reservoirs, I love fishing like a hyper rattle type of bait, or jigging an aggressive plastic. Lead core is a great way in a lot of those systems to cover a lot of water to find them. So I mean, that's kind of what I'd start doing.
He said there's no current or river, just a bunch of feeder creeks.
Just a bunch of feeder creeks. Yeah, I just get on the biggest point coming out of one of those feeder creek areas, and I would basically get all over that. Oh, come on, buddy, bite my bait. Yeah, he did. He did. He was sitting right on the backside of that little tuft of weed. I mean, you could just barely kind of pick him out down in there. Better? I don't want to jinx it, Mitchell. No, same size.
I can't believe you
Same size.
took the rod from me.
What's that?
You took the rod from me to do this.
I did. Well, I needed the dang drop shot.
Told you.
Clearly the drop shot was crucial. And I set the hook on a drop shot. I don't do like a big, crazy wind up. There's another 16-incher right there. I'll do a lot more of like this swing into them where it's kind of like, oh, got to tangle on the tip of my rod. I'll get the bait out there. Once I know I have a bite, I'll just kind of like do one of these numbers. Drop shot fishing is generally pretty finessey, small hook. My favorite hook to put on here, it's like some kind of bass finesse wide gap hook. That looks something like this right here. See, it's short, compact, but it's super wide gap. If you get too thin on your hook, you're gonna end up like not being able to put any pressure on it like a bigger fish if you do happen to get tangled with one.
So you should tell everyone, if they don't know, like why you set the hook like that.
It's because I just physically don't have enough strength in my arms to do it any harder.
Yeah, so if you guys were wondering, that's why.
Also, I want to point out Mitch is wearing Crocs right now.
I am wearing Crocs right now.
At 53 years old, he became a Croc guy.
You know, it's definitely something that I laughed at and could have possibly made fun of you for. I'll tell you what, these things are awesome.
Take a poll in the comment section.
These are absolutely awesome, super comfortable, way more comfortable than you would ever imagine. I want to know how many people.
Yes to the Crocs.
Yes.
And for no way you
trust me. I would have said no way. I was probably.
I mean, I got a feeling most of the people watching are wearing Crocs right now.
They're so damn comfortable. Crocs with socks, baby.
Crocs and socks. I feel like we might be out of fish here. Definitely might be out of fish here.
One time we're getting a lot of love for the Crocs. I told you, man. Until you put them on your feet, it's hard to understand. Because I didn't understand either until I put them on my feet.
How about Birkenstocks though?
Yeah,
I might get some hate for that.
I think Birks are cool too.
Do you?
I don't have any. I probably wouldn't wear them. I got really ugly toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, mine ain't.
So
mine ain't better.
I got some Hey Dudes are better. Definitely looked at those
cooped up in muck boots
nice.
for too many hours of my life. I wore shorts for the first time this year the other day. When I was filming that video. Dude, I got so scorched, it was insane.
Yeah, one that said Crocs are for chicks. Tom, you definitely should be wearing them.
Crocs are for chicks?
Yeah, so you definitely need them. The one guy said he just got out of the shower with his. Told you, man, they're so comfortable you don't even want to take them off.
Really? Yeah, we might be out of fish here, big dog. Do we have to go to another spot, or?
Might have to.
What do you think? How long have we been going for?
An hour and 29 minutes now.
Hour and 29 minutes?
Yep.
You think we can drive across the lake without discombobulating everything we got in here? There must be a funny comment. Mitch is really paying attention right now.
So we're talking about like Hey Dudes. So they're saying like dudes, and the guy said there's a lot of people like dudes in the comments.
The Hey Dudes?
A lot of people like dudes in the comments. You know, you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Like dudes.
We got some funny chatsters.
Yeah, that's right.
Big thank you to you guys, though, for tuning in on a Friday when you could be like working or doing something productive. Instead, you're sitting here watching us just put a beat down on 15 to 20 inches. By beat down, I mean I think we've caught like 7 or 8 or 9. Yeah, that's actually not bad though.
No, I haven't kept track, but I don't think it's been like too bad. The last live that we went on was a little.
So it's not like, you know, when I'm doing these, it's never like, oh my gosh, like I'm dying up here under the pressure. But like, obviously we don't want to do one of these where like it's just a struggle fest. I wouldn't say it's like pressure. I'd equate it more to like when I do seminars. When you leave a seminar after I do it, it's just like, like
what?
It's like a sensory overload, like while you're, or like a sports show when you're just talking to people like all day. When you get done with one, it's like you like shut down for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like tiring. I don't know.
I honestly do think sports shows might be the worst thing on the planet.
What's that?
Sport shows are like the worst thing on the planet.
Sports shows straight take it out of you. Sports shows are grueling.
Seminars are tough though. You get so wired doing them, for sure.
Well, especially because everyone I was doing was a long drive.
Yeah.
So you'd be drinking coffee and Red Bulls for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
Show up there on just a caffeine high.
Yeah. When I did my hunting one in St. Cloud, well, how far is St. Cloud? Like 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got back. I mean, I don't even think I slept until like 5 in the morning when I got back. I'm so wired from it. A couple of the other guys I went with had to go to work the next day too, so I know that wasn't fun.
When you did yours, when you talked, were you like,
oh, dude, I was, you could see like wet marks. I was sweating so bad.
Really?
No.
I believed it.
Yeah, right. We got one comment that says, I have no idea what we're looking at on the graph, so can you explain a little bit?
Mm-hmm. That's the weed edge. That's outside of the weed edge. The fish are setting up right in this zone right here. Now they're really hard to see today because they're not big and they're super tight to bottom. So likelihood when I get up here, you'll be able to see them. And I'll kind of point it out a little bit. There's also a lot of clutter in the water. Like if I turn my sensitivity way up, oh, it's actually not horrendous right now, kind of depending on where we're at. But you should see some fish kind of when I get up to this little corner here.
What's your strategy after mayfly hatch?
Leech, a lot of leech fishing. A lot of finessey stuff that's like floaty in the water column. Leech and drop shot's probably honestly one of your better options. Man, that wind is just wild.
It is.
I'm surprised these mics are doing that good. It's probably bad though when I'm looking straight into it.
Next time we're in Brainerd area, should hit up Brett.
Hit up Brett. It's been actually a couple years since I fished around there.
Yeah, I was trying to remember last time we were up.
I filmed a few times on the big main lake there. And actually, I filmed on, I think, a lake called Pelican one time in the fall, but I don't remember for sure.
What color palettes can you choose from the Hummingbird?
Say that again?
Color palettes in the Hummingbird?
Oh, I think I run number 3.
Somebody also asked if you are fishing.
Say that again?
Somebody asked if you are fishing.
If I'm fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you must just be tuning in. Part of fishing is finding the fish, you know? It's kind of the part we're currently on.
Someone's wondering what's the most Red Bulls you had in one day.
How many Red Bulls I've had?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, back in the day, maybe 3. I don't hardly drink Red Bulls anymore. They're just good at my old age now. Just little, 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning. That's about all a guy really requires.
I hear you.
Okay, so these are walleyes right here, if that guy's still watching. That is a walleye. Now we're just gonna creep on over to them, put some baits on them. I cast it a little short due to the insane wind here. We'll kind of see what they do. Yeah, I mean, I'm just flat out short of them. Missed the boat on that one, Mitchell. Oh, see that one just came out to it? Is he gonna eat it or not though? I don't know. It's kind of out of his comfort zone a little bit. I'm gonna get the search bait and throw right at those suckers. They should go for me.
Yeah, one comment. Just got off the St. Croix out of Stillwater. Did pretty well today.
I love fishing there, actually.
Yeah, I do too. Another question on about Trent Garmin. One's heading to Bay de Noc soon, so help them.
I've been talking about going to Bay de Noc for weeks now, and
I know it's been, yeah, we have been talking about it for a long time.
Every time I make up my mind to go do it, I look at the forecast and it's like 35-mile-an-hour winds. They followed it a little bit. For some reason I didn't get bit there.
How many feet out are you set on?
90. It's pretty
90
much
feet.
what I run. Most time, unless I'm basin fishing, then I'll go like 100. Oh, they're all over me. I didn't need it. Is the drop shot going to be the star of the show?
It will. Of course it will be.
Drop shot Mitch.
Yep, that's right. How many days are you spending on Fort Peck this year?
On where?
Fort Peck.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think, what are we scheduled for? Like 5?
Yeah, I'll
days
probably
of
go
fishing?
fish there for like at least 5 days. I'm sure it's going to be dependent on what the weather and wind looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you can always kind of get out there. It's just how much can you run around, I think. Seems to kind of be.
Somebody just got here, so how many so far today, Tom? Yeah,
Fish?
Sure, yeah. Like,
Since we started the stream, maybe 7?
caught a few.
8? I mean, I think I caught like 4 or 5 on the first spot. Yeah, and then 3 on the other
Caught like a few in the first, like, 5 casts. I
Yeah,
think.
I think on the first 5 casts, I caught like 3 fish or something.
So, I mean, probably a little better than the last one. Guy said he caught a 33 3/4, 14-pound, 11-ounce out of Lake Erie.
Oh, dude, I just
that is a
had
huge
one
fish.
going and he dropped it.
Drop shot, Tom.
They're on that edge, son. I just got to get him to bite my hook.
You guys wondering if you set your drop shot just above the weeds or drag it right through?
I mean, I'm kind of just making pinpointed cast to the edge. That fish just came over and got all over it. But unlike a lot of drop shots, I like rigging mine up like with like a 30-inch lead. Real long kind of. Oh, dude. Oh, no, Mitchell. So I like rigging up. There's my weight. There's the hook. So it's a pretty good distance between the two. I don't know if that was a walleye or not. it's like cold and windy out, and there's people like jet skiing and swimming all over.
I know. I mean, when you have 3 days to take your vacation,
True.
I'm guessing weather doesn't matter. I had a couple more questions for you, Tom. When you're scanning a drop-off, do you like to zigzag the drop or scan right along it?
Yeah, I'll go into the wind. And if you're doing it with side imaging, I'll get off of the weed edge or like off of, I won't keep like right where I think the fish will be underneath me. I'll try to like get off the edge a little bit. If you're doing it with forward facing, I'll get right where the weeds meet and then go straight into the wind if possible. Like you can see like lots of weeds up here, drop off over there. I'm just kind of working right on the edge here.
And then when you're throwing a search bait, do you pull it just above the weeds or do you drop it in every once in a while?
Yeah, above the weeds generally. Or like in this situation, I'll just keep it right on the edge where like I think the fish are. We might kind of beat this spot up as much as we can here.
So asking if we ever fished Lake Ponderay in North Idaho. It's quickly become an incredible walleye fishery.
I have not.
It sounds so cool to take a trip there. That's a long drive though.
It is.
We got a request if you can show a close-up of the search bait.
Yep. I sure can.
And if you're going to try to hook a minnow on a drop shot, lip or through the back? It's through the lips.
Lip, probably.
Yep.
There it is. There's all sorts of different little tweaks you can do. Sometimes you can just jumble up a bunch of really heavy, like 30-pound fluorocarbon on the head of this hook, and that'll hold the crawler on good. I'll do that on some of them. Other ones, like the one I'm throwing today, this one's gonna look a little mangled because it was literally the original one I ever started using, but still catching fish, obviously. This one looks like this right here. It's got lead jammed in the eyes because I was playing with the weight from back then. Essentially, it's just a weight forward spinner. Kind of designed for casting, trolling, kind of fish however you want, sharpshooting.
We just got a comment, do a Clear Lake breakdown for us just one time.
It is actually what we did today.
Yeah.
Yeah. We filmed a full-on like driving through. It's like 18 minutes long. Driving through this lake, kind of talking about what we're seeing on the graph, everything like that. And that will be on we tried uploading it already today from the lake, but it just wasn't happening for us. But that video will be on Walleye Now by the end of today or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll try to get it up tonight.
And it's kind of a good drive-through for anyone fishing kind of a clear natural lake and around this time of year.
All right, I got a question on kind of follow-up to like scanning the drops.
Yeah.
Why do you make sure to scan into the wind? What if the wind is blowing perpendicular to the drop?
Yeah, I guess if you're trying to like fish and scan as you go, I like going into the wind because then if you stop, the forward facing, they're still going to be off your bow. And with side imaging, you can just spot lock down and those fish will be right off your side or kind of kitty quarter behind you, which is easier to fish that way. So that's kind of why, now if you're just like scouting a lake for the first time, it doesn't really matter too much which direction you're going.
Do you use braid on all the reels, and if so, what pound diameter?
Pretty much use braid on everything, 10 pound. I use Suffix 832 on 90% of my presentations, and it's pretty much what I use on everything.
How do you keep the search bait from tangling up on a cast?
So you guys can probably see I even tangled it up one time. You got to lob it out there, and then a lot of times I'll kind of slow it down before it hits the water. If you try to do a lot of like that, it's going to tangle up a lot more on you. The other thing that'll help you out is, we're way up in the weeds here. The other thing that'll help you out is fishing with like a longer, flimsier rod like this. This is a 7.5 foot. There's 2 rods I love for doing this. This is a ultimate rigging rod. This is an Elliott Identity series, but it's 7.6 medium light. And that longer rod with the lighter tip lets you kind of like load that bait out there and pitch it around. You don't want, not a bait you like whip around the fish. The other one I really like is 7.4. It's called like the rig and jig. It's 7 feet 4 inches long, and that rod is in the Identity series also. But if you're gonna throw a lot of search baits and like designate a rod to doing it, make it like a 7.2 or a 7.6, something in that range, and something with a medium light action. I think we're out of fish here, Mitchell. I don't know if there's any other way to weasel another one out of here.
I'm honestly completely shocked that we've made it this far in the weather and we're still good.
What should we do, guys? Should we run spots and try to duplicate the pattern? It's 4 o'clock right now.
Yes it is.
Holy cow, it's 4 o'clock. Never mind.
No, we can't, yeah.
We can't. But what we did want to do is go live for a little while, breaking down kind of a new lake. Obviously, if I had more time, I'd run through some other spots, but you can imagine a lot of them would go a lot like this. You get in some weeds, we'd find some fish, we'd catch some fish, assumably. They're not biting super good today, like super all about it. You can tell just the number of casts I got to make at some fish, but it's just kind of the way it is someday. This week's been gnarly for weather. It's just huge winds, fronts every day. Today, right when we got out here, it was like relatively calm, and then the wind picked up to like 40, and then it died down. We started the stream. Then it picked way back up, but now it feels like it's kind of moderate again.
Yeah, it feels like summertime right now.
Now it feels like summertime, but obviously today it was like 49 degrees when we got out here, so it was a lot colder right away. But I think today's kind of the last day of this crazy weather, so what's our total stream time?
We are at 1 hour and 48 minutes.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed watching us break down new lake, catch some fish. Thank you guys for tuning in on a Friday. Make sure if you're still watching, so to get notified by these, make sure I think you go to like the notification bell and turn on your notifications if you're subscribed. And then I think you actually get notified when I go live, because we always get people saying, oh, how do I know when you're going live? Well, there's, I think that's really the only way. YouTube doesn't make it great so I can like reach out to you guys and tell you guys I'm about to go live. I can do that on my Instagram, my Facebook, and things like that. But not on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Mitch is looking comfy as all get out back there in his Crocs.
That's right.
I think we caught 7 or 8 walleyes somewhere right in there. Missed a couple bites. Pretty par for the course.
I caught a walleye.
Mitchell caught a walleye. It just warms my heart, when I get to see someone who maybe doesn't get to get out all the time catch a fish like that. It's incredible. But thank you guys for watching. We got to load up. We got to run home. I thought it was earlier than it was, but at least we could take you guys along for the ride. Enjoy your weekend. Catch some fish. If you're going to a new lake that's set up similar to this, natural lake, make sure you get over to the Walleye Now app. Check out that new video, which will be uploaded tonight, and it'll be all about breaking down new water. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to end the live stream. Get in the control, Mitchell. We're going to try to time it with the punch out here.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Tell me when you're ready.
Give me a second.
I'm really drawing it out right now.
Give me a second. Okay, go ahead. 1.
Stay tuned for more. 3, 2, 1. Punch it out.
I think I got it.